Good morning. Welcome again to another fantastic edition of the GDFL Footy Show, coming to you from Channel 31 right here in beautiful Geelong. Hard to believe the summer's over and we're in for another big season in local football right here in Geelong. And of course, the last time you saw us, we had a very exciting grand final, the Belpostal Panthers and the East Geelong Eagles, with East Geelong being successful. A little bit of groundbreaking television there for local footy. We had a magnificent live telecast of the day, and I'm sure you weren't disappointed at all. Hello, I'm Dick Philpott, and once again I've assembled some of the biggest names and brains in local football, and there's no gags about that this year, because right beside me, once again, is the man that used to play for the Geelong Footy Club, and also a legend out at the Bannockburn Tigers, Dale Smyth. Good morning and welcome back to season 2010.
Thanks very much, Dick. Yeah, nice to be back and looking forward to another season of football. It's been a bit of a long off season, so we've got the kids back and running, and everything's going forward from here.
And the man who needs absolutely no introduction, I've got to say that anyway, because he's a very popular man. He's been around local television and local footy for a very long time. And of course, I speak one and only, Jason Doherty. G'day, Jace.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
Lovely to see you. Lee and the girls all well?
Yes, they're fine, thank you. I'm also looking forward to a big season. Had a very big off season, so good to get rid of the cricket and back into the footy.
Yeah, it is nice to get rid of the cricket. The cricket's always very exciting, but we love our local footy, and of course we're in for a fantastic and exciting year, and of course we don't know what's going to unfold, but we're quite certain that it'll be very competitive, and hopefully a couple of the new guns come forward and we finish up the season with a fantastic year. So what have you been doing off season, Dale?
Look, Dick, pretty quiet actually. I've taken up the coaching of the under-18s at Bannockburn again. That's been a bit of a trial, but we've got a few new group of kids coming through. I think I lost 12 and pick up about 13 or 14. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a new bunch, and the rest of it's really just the last couple of weeks sitting back watching the transfers go through on the website. It's been magnificent. There's a fair bit of movement going in and out of the league.
What about you, Jace? Anything to do any rowing at all? Or
You are a
private schoolboy
You're
like you
a
are?
complete idiot, you are. No, just doing a bit of cricket coaching and keeping out of trouble. So, yes, no, not too much. It's been very low-key. No rowing.
That's
rowing.
Fantastic. Mum and Dad well? Biscuit and Bob?
What do we have to bring them up for?
Well, we haven't spoken about it for a while.
They're fine, thank you. Yes, they're fine. And they're looking forward to an invite to your 60th birthday too.
Oh, well, that's in about 5 or 6 years' time, so we'll certainly keep them in mind for that. Now, guys, obviously this time of the year, a lot of new faces turning up in footy. All the clubs have got their recruits. They're coming out on show this afternoon. Any big names that you can reveal to us, Dale, that should really make their presence felt in local footy this year?
Well, as I said, Dick, there's a few names there that I'm not even familiar with, and a lot of big names going outside the league. So that's one. There's been, as I said, a fair bit of movement happening. I think East Geelong will be fairly strong again throughout the year. There'll be a few teams that might take a bit of a backward slide and go through a bit of a rebuilding stage if they're prepared to run some of their kids through the grade. I will say one thing, Dick. I think the league has erred in their under-18 ruling this year with not being able to play kids in the senior football in the open age group. If they play one game, they can't come back and play under-18 football, which I think is a bit of a, I suppose, a distraction for 2 or 3 of my kids, especially who I'd like to have actually given some experience up there, but now they won't be able to do it. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that. I actually spoke to a few of the boys about it. I don't think we're going to get it changed back again, but it just takes away that initiation for these kids to have a bit of a run in senior footy, which I think is going to be a bit of a downturn for the league itself.
Jason, you've had your finger on the pulse, I guess, in the last few weeks trying to find out any gossip going on. Can you reveal any great new developments coming up this year?
Well, I think probably Belpostal, the one that have recruited some name players. Matt Jovanovic from Ocean Grove, Bell Park, played at the Geelong VFL team as well. I think he's probably going to be a bit of a key for the Panthers. They've lost a few, but have picked up him and Wade Bowyer and a few others at the Panthers. So I think that they may be one that obviously they don't need to really improve that much from last year. If they can hold the nucleus of their side from last year and then get a couple of those big recruits, they're going to be close again, I'd say.
Fantastic. Well, we'll be back later on to talk about all the action on this afternoon. But Wednesday night saw the pre-season launch of the GDFL. Another very exciting night out at Buckley's. We'll cross there now and just see if we can find someone to have a quick chat to.
We're at the 2010 GDFL season launch, and with me, John Mitchell, Mayor of Geelong. John, exciting year, 2010. Tell us about who you think might just win this year's premiership title.
Well, I would suggest that East Geelong are hot favourites after reading today's advertiser with Ricky O'Toole just topping them up nicely. So they would have to be favourites. Inverleigh have recruited very well. Bannockburn, I've been told, are going well as well.
What about Thomson Tigers and their chances this year?
Well, Thompson's had a great run for 16 years, and I'm sure that the new coach will be trying to get them in the finals, and who knows what's happened from there. But the reality to it all is I think over the pre-season, whilst we've recruited reasonably well, we'll be a very young side. We've lost 600 games and 10 best and fairest, so probably puts us under the hammer a little bit. But look, the Tommy Tigers, we're always there and abouts, and we'll be having a crack, and we'll be all right, I think.
Tell us about the strength of the league, comparatively to some of the other leagues now in Geelong. Has it grown a bit in the last few years, do you think?
Oh, there's no doubt that the strength of the league and all the leagues in Geelong, I think all the leagues have improved over a period of time, but the strength of this league here is the administration, to tell you the truth. Look, we're here at the Buckley's Entertainment Centre. Many years ago, Neville Whitley and his board had a vision that they wanted to put to the clubs, and it was offered to all the clubs in Geelong, and the GDFL took it up, and that is the strength of the league. Is no doubt the board. Players are getting better all the time, but the board is very strong, and we have a well-administered league.
Thanks very much. Got Cale Key here, coach of the Corio Devils. Cale, how's your team looking coming up to the first game of the season?
We're going to be midfield. I don't think we're going to finish finals. We're not expecting that, but I think we're going to upset a few teams.
Yeah. What are your focuses been on coming into the new season? How your team plays?
Well, we're not a big side because, we just can't, and we don't have the money to go out and buy players. So we've been focusing on the young guys coming up through the under-18s. And basically our tactics are going to be basically run and carry. So, we're going to rely on our speed and agility to get the ball from point A to point B.
Now, you lost this year, most notably Ricky O'Toole is a club legend. Can you tell us about your feelings on that and how it actually happened?
Well, Ricky's not the only person to leave the club. We've had something like 23 clearances prior to Ricky leaving, so that's about a third of our list. And the philosophy of the club is that the club is greater than an individual. Ricky is a definite loss, but once again, we're focusing on the guys that want to be at the club, not the guys that don't want to be there. We don't have the time or the resources to expel energy into people that really don't need to be. So we want to focus on our youngsters, our juniors, get those guys in a position where they represent the club like Ricky for a long time, and get those guys into a process where they're playing good football.
And can you tell us a little bit just about the support of the league and how important that is to keeping your club going?
Well, being new to Corio, coaching Bannockburn a few years ago, the league has been good to us. They've helped us. We're a community sports group. We don't have the dollars and cents like some of the bigger clubs. And so, we've got to be very conscious and cautious how we spend our money. Our youth and those types of things are important to us. Obviously, tonight at the league launch, they've spoken about a range of those types of initiatives, and we have been putting those processes into place as well. With the Corio Police and such organisations, because we realise if we can keep those young guys at the club, keep them off the streets and out of jail, that's got to be good for the community, good for them and good for the club. So it's about developing players with 10 years experience, so they can get through that hard adolescent time and basically become worthy and really good members of society.
Okay, thanks very much, Carl, and good luck for the season.
You're welcome, Cal. All the best.